All right. All right. And we are live. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Everyone in the live chat, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your comments. We've got a very interesting show for you today because we've got a very interesting event coming up over the next month or so up in Boston. And we're going to be talking about it a little bit today. We're going to be discussing what the event is going to be about. So please help me welcome one of the organizers of the event. It's called Threads, and one of the organizers of the event, Mr. Sanjay Kaul, is joining us today. So, Mr. Kaul, welcome to the show, Sanjay ji.
Thank you, Sham, and hello and namaste to all your listeners, and also a very happy Navratri. Today is the fourth day,
Yes,
so
very happy,
I'm
happy
so
Navratri to everyone as well.
yes delighted to be here on your show.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. So, Sanjay ji, tell us a little bit about to start us off, tell us a little bit about the Threads conference and what it's about, and where does the idea for Threads come from?
Okay, the Threads conference is first of its kind. It's a community-driven conference with one goal, only one goal in mind: to tell the story of Hindu Americans. The theme for Threads is to share, to appreciate, and to engage with the larger American community to shape a collective future for us. It is about sharing the comprehensive, multidimensional contributions of Hindu Americans, not just Indian Americans,
Hmm.
and the contributions that we have made our past like 6 decades to make America a better society. And it's about appreciating the opportunities that this country provides us to blossom and to flourish.
Right.
And also, more importantly, it's about reaching out and engaging the American community so that we can collectively shape our future as a community, as an American society.
So, what are going to be some of the things that are part of the event? Like, what are some of the themes that are going to be part of the Threads event?
See, like I said, the main theme is to share, appreciate, and engage. And
Okay.
within that, what we have done is three things we are trying to do. One is we're trying to tell the story of the Indian American, the Hindu American, who
Mm.
has come from all parts of the globe to United States to settle here and realize their dreams. So everybody has gone through their trials and tribulations in coming here. But with the opportunities that this country provides, we have all flourished. We have realized some portion of the American dream, and we are thankful for that. That's where the appreciation part comes. And finally, engaging everybody. So, we want to show them what are the contributions we as a community have made here and are making and will continue to make, and through our vision, creating opportunities for the American society. So, what we did, we have picked 8 different fields of life where our people have done so well in making good, significant contributions. For example, one of the sessions, one of the areas of focus is art and literature. People who
Mm.
have come here to make contributions in that field. The second one is industry and commerce. We have made a lot of contributions and some presence to be felt in that area. The third one is public service and advocacy. Now Indians are getting involved, and then they are trying to come forward in all aspects of public service and advocacy. The fourth one is holistic living. Who can forget so many Ayurvedic doctors have come here, and they are showing a different way of healing. Naturopathy, you talk about veganism, vegetarianism,
Mm.
you talk about yoga, all those contributions we are making is significant. The fifth one is talking about science and technology and entrepreneurship. Silicon Valley is
Yep.
full of Indians. All the other industries, people are making contributions in developing industry here. So that's another significant part of it. The sixth one, what we are focusing is medicine, biotech, and pharmacy. If you look at it, tremendous impact of Indians in medicine
Yeah.
and biotech. Almost 33% of the doctors in this country are of Indian and Hindu
Wow.
origin. Um, the seventh one, the field we have chosen is education. And look at, obviously, all of us who have come here now, more than 3 million people in by the census numbers, are have a very good background of education, and it has come from our learning back home in India, and that is something we are trying to bring here in achieving a model society. And you will see in universities, campuses, most of the professors, deans, even top officials in most of the big universities are now Indians. So we're
Yeah.
trying to make that contribution. In high schools, the Indian teachers are making a mark through their care and through their way of teaching and connecting with students. That guru parampara, where knowledge is supreme and you need to share that knowledge and not just educate,
Hmm.
but enlighten a student. That is the concept there. And the last one, the eighth field area that we are actually interested in sharing our contribution is basically service and philanthropy. Our people are in armed services here fighting for this country. Now this is our country, this is our
Yeah.
adopted motherland, and it is as much dear to us as it is to anybody else on the road, right? So we want to fight for it, we want to die for it, and we are there doing it. So our people are there. um, we want to showcase one or two of them. Then there is like areas of service, service in the US. Many people think Indian and Hindu communities mostly raise funds and send most of the funds back home in India for education, for people from below poverty line, those households, and to educate people and to give them basic necessities. But nobody even realizes just in last couple of years the contributions Hindu Americans have made to various charities. It comes close to about $2 billion a year.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. So we are doing a lot. I mean, we are, when Katrina happened or any other disaster happened, Indian and Hindu organizations went there to help. I mean, I know I'm part of the World Hindu Council of America, and we had sent our volunteers with like those trucks you rent,
Right.
and then you fill them with food and basic necessities and go to these disaster areas, help out people in whichever way we can. And we're trying to be part of the society here, because this is our home now.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
that is what we want to share. And that's why we are trying to get people of non-Indian origin and non-Hindu origin to come to this conference and basically engage with us,
Yeah.
so that they know more about us and we can share what we can bring to the plate.
I think that's a very
An-
good point that you make. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish your point.
I just wanted to add one more thing, that I don't know if you looked at the logo for this conference that
Yeah.
we have developed. The logo is very interesting. It's a woven fabric taft with threads of four colors. And interestingly, if you ask me why those four colors and what those four colors are, the four colors out of those three colors are from the American flag:
Yeah.
red, blue, and white. And the fourth color is the color of saffron. That's what the Hindus bring here. And we are just adding to we are interwoven into the fabric of American society. We are bringing another fabric and another color to make it stronger and richer. That's why we called it threads.
Definitely. I think that's a very interesting idea because one of the points that you raised was about the Hindu American, Indian American community in America. I mean, they, for by and large, they're the definition of a model immigrant. They come to the country, they do their best to integrate into the cultural fabric, into the social fabric of the country. They contribute to the economy in a significant way. They are well educated, and they try their best to be part of, to live the American dream and to be part of the American fabric. So in that ways, the Indian immigrants, the Hindu immigrants, they tend to be really, really good immigrants. The kind of immigrants that people say here in the US, we need the good immigrants. And I feel like Indians tend to be the definition of that. The second
Oh,
thing you
oh,
also, sorry, go ahead, Sanjay.
I just wanted to make a comment there because it's so funny what you're saying. It makes so good sense because I have a friend who's an American and
Mm.
he works in my office with me, and he owns some apartment complexes. And do you know what he told me? He said,
What?
"I am so happy to have Indian tenants." Then
Really?
I asked him why. I said, "Why?" He says, "On every first of the month, they just walk into your office with a check. You don't have to remind them to pay their rent. They're
That's perfect.
just very, very law abiding, very conscious of what they have to do, and never mess around.
Yeah.
You may smell the food that they cook in the apartment, but they're not there to disturb. They're always willing to invite you in, always willing to make friends.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things, that you will not notice also with the Indian community, and there's been accusations, allegations against other communities that you don't notice in the Indian Hindu community, is that there's no ghettoization. There's Indians, they interact with each other. They have various Indian American groups where they get together and discuss, but they don't live, right next to each other together in a ghetto. They're very happy to mingle and mix with other Americans, live with other Americans, just like Americans themselves. And I feel like that's another really good quality.
Yeah, again, it comes from what we have been taught. We all know this whole creation is one world, one family, the Vasudev Kutumbakam.
Hmm.
That is the concept we are taught, and that is what we follow. I mean, it's ingrained into our genes that everybody is a nice person. It's God's creation, and we are all equal.
Yeah.
And we believe in the concept that the religion is to be practiced within the four walls of your own home.
Yeah.
It's not to be taken out and pushed on somebody else. And we respect all religions. I mean, if you go to look at the Indian community and you see the Hindus, they will be with their Muslim friends, they
Yeah.
will be with their Christian friends, they will be very nicely dealing with their Jewish friends, whoever it is. I mean, we do not really feel that I am a Hindu, therefore I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to stand with that guy or this person.
Yeah.
We don't discriminate. We are very, very open minded society, and that is good. That is how the world should be.
Yeah, and the other part that you also mentioned is interesting, which is the community. Engaging with the American community, letting the American community see the Indian American, the Hindu American community, what their achievements have been like, what they have been up to since they've become part of the American society. Because, and that engagement, I think, is very important because we're in an information age where a lot of information is very readily available to everyone.
Yes,
Problem with that, Sanjay ji, is that with a lot of information comes a lot of misinformation as well.
I
And
think
that is
so.
one of the
Yeah.
things that we're noticing over the past few months, especially with the whole 370 thing that happened. You're
Hmm.
noticing a lot of information, but you're noticing a lot of misinformation. Something that I've noticed here in the US myself is there just a ton of misinformation out there. So I think to combat that as well, that engagement is important, right?
Oh, very important. I think it's not just now, but for some time, people are creating a narrative about Hindus. They're creating a narrative about Indians in particular, which they see fit to their own needs.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, for Hindus and for Indians, we don't have any structured mechanism to actually put forth our own narrative.
Yeah.
And with what you're saying, the social media, more than normal, it's like you have misinformation 80 to 90%, and you may have 10%, if you are lucky, the
Yeah.
real information, the true information. The news is manufactured these days. It is It is created to suit a certain narrative,
Yeah.
and that is what is happening these days after 370. And there is a lot of talk about repression in Kashmir Valley. There is a lot of talk about things being done there. And those who actually know about the Jammu and Kashmir state know about the Kashmir Valley. Like, I am a Kashmiri Hindu.
Mm.
I am from that place. I was born there. I grew up there. I was raised there, and I had my basic engineering degree from Srinagar Kashmir University,
Wow.
the regional engineering college. And I moved to United States in 1991 after the mass exodus of Hindus from Kashmir Valley. And that was only because there was religious intolerance, there was fanaticism, there was militancy, and at the point of gun, Hindus were killed, murdered, women raped, and we had no alternative but to run away. Because we are a
Oh,
peace loving community, we are a very minuscule, small community. We could not resist their
yeah.
force on us, and we actually had to leave. And in January 19th of 1990, when they gave a call from every mosque that Islam khatre mein hai, come out, and you had people all millions and millions of our neighbors and friends on the street banging on your doors and asking to kill you if you don't run away, or support them in their struggle for freedom. But you and I know very well that when India and Pakistan got freedom from British India, there were princely states that had the option to join either one or the other, and the ruler had the option to choose one. And the Maharaja of Kashmir chose to sign the instrument of accession with for Kashmir, the
Mm.
state of Jammu and Kashmir, with India. And that's when the forces of Indian army came to help out, because Pakistan had sent its army in the disguise of Kabalis to come and loot and create mayhem in Kashmir. Legally, there is a sound argument that Kashmir is part of India. It was ratified by the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir state, but it was given certain privileges.
Mm.
The government of India, the Prime Minister, his cabinet gave a special status through Article 370, and then they had Article 35 with other benefits to the locals. Benefits or disbenefits, it's a different argument. We can take that on. But over the years, if you look at it, from right from 50s to just last year, if you look at it, except for a separate flag on the Secretariat of Jammu and Kashmir in Srinagar city, nothing else actually was standing. Everything had been eroded over
Yeah.
the years. It was just for the sake of name, that Article 370. And you had the state subject that nobody else from any part of the country in India could come and invest in Kashmir state or buy land and live there, which is so funny. And it is strange in a sense that living in America, you cannot tell me that you live in Boston and now you cannot go to Texas and buy land there or buy property there. You cannot tell me you cannot move to Ohio or maybe Alaska.
Mm.
If I am a citizen of America, I can be a citizen anywhere in this country.
Yeah.
But that was not true in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And also the women, if they married outside of Kashmiri community, they would lose that citizenship. They would
Yeah.
lose their rights on their property. Their children could not be Kashmiri. That was again something very nonsensical. And there were so many other things. I think all these articles actually benefit certain ruling families who ruled the state for last 70 years and depleted it of its resources.
Yeah.
Finally, we have a prime minister and we have a party in India that actually had this on their manifesto, election manifesto, for years. And this time, when they got the majority, I think they decided that this is a wrong, it has to be corrected. And I think with this, the opportunity for Kashmir to flourish is there. there is an opportunity for investment to come into Kashmir, and that definitely is a welcome step. People now, because the state has been restructured, Ladakh is a union territory, Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory. So there will be more development in the region of Ladakh, which was not, which was, I mean, if you listen to the member parliament from Ladakh region, when he was addressing the parliament, he was crying and saying, in
Yeah.
70 years, we are still on bull carts. We have not seen development because the rulers in Jammu and Kashmir, the chief minister is not, and his parties, those parties are not allowing that portion of development that belong to Ladakh to happen, and so people will there prosper. Jammu and Kashmir state becoming a union territory has its own advantages. My friends who are in the state working in the government agencies, they're happy actually, because union
Mm.
territory gives them the status of a central government employee, and it has its own added benefits: higher pay scale, higher a longer, higher retirement age, and things like that. That's what people like. And yeah, other thing is also that most people are not happy with what has been
Yeah.
happening for last 30 years. If you talk to locals on an individual basis, they will tell you it has been, I mean, if you lose somebody in your family, your children are aspiring to be a terrorist.
Yeah.
How would you want that? How would you like that? You would not want that
And
as
there's
a
nothing
parent.
with in terms of development also, Sanjay ji. I mean, the rest of India is moving forward. The rest of India is developing. The rest of India is, getting new businesses, startups, creating thousands of jobs, earning better money. And Kashmir is still where it was 30 years ago.
No, I don't agree with that, Sham.
Okay.
I will tell you why. Because if you look at the per capita income in Jammu and Kashmir state, it's fourth highest in the nation in India.
But isn't
And
that because of the government help that they get?
yes, of
Yeah.
course, every help that the central government puts in comes not as a loan, but is
Yeah.
given out as a dole, and that all money is actually going somewhere else,
Yeah.
not in the real development of the state. But if you look at it, the money that government of India pumps into the state is equivalent to none other. The budget for just few years ago was $33 billion, which was more than what NASA has for its own development and research.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that the government of India is actually not treating it like a stepchild, but has always treated it as one who is a favorite one.
Yeah.
And now I think the people will have the opportunities, like Reliance has said they will go and set up industry. Tatas have said there are other NRIs from other parts of the world who are willing to invest
There's
billions
a
of
production
dollars.
company that wants to set up a production house there to film movies as well.
Yes, I have a cousin who is into movie industry in India, and he has been in a collaboration with local talent in Kashmir, and he wants to set up something there, and
Yeah.
he has been talking to me about it. So I'm excited for the times to come. I think once this wave of misinformation dies down with time, things will improve. I was reading just now something a cousin of mine sent me, who regularly goes to Kashmir. He
Mm.
stays there for his work purposes. He has his own business, and he tells me that he goes there with his wife. His children visit him, and they all are freely able to move from place to place. They are able to go wherever they want. The hospitals are open, the medical facilities are open and available. Also, they are able to get day-to-day needs on a regular basis. It's
Mm.
just that the shops open from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. And the whole business is done within those 2 hours. Then, because they want to show that we are not happy, they want to close the
Yeah.
shutters. But the transport facility is there. He was telling me he for crossing 50 yards on a street which is close to a wine shop, it takes him half an hour because it's that crowded in front of the
Wow.
wine shops. So
Wine shops in Kashmir. There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. And another thing I want to mention, I had recently a friend of mine visit me from India, because in Boston we have so many educational institutions, and he was sending his daughter for education here, so they came to settle her. And his other daughter, who was in Mumbai, and his mom lives in Baramulla, which is a village like 60 miles away from Srinagar. So she was being the his mom was alone in her village. Her daughter got worried, so his daughter got worried. She flew from Mumbai to Srinagar by herself,
Wow.
rented a cab, went to visit her grandma, stayed there for 3 days. We spoke to her while he was here, and
Wow.
she was saying the things are normal, things are happening, there's nothing to worry. It's just that there are certain sectors, certain sections of society who wish to create an atmosphere of fear.
Yeah.
They want this to continue, because by continuing of the terrorism and the fear, they are able to keep their shops open.
Well, that's the thing, na, Sanjay ji, that this was the terrorist and the separatists' entire livelihood, separate status, azadi. This was their
Yeah,
entire livelihood.
yeah.
370 was their entire livelihood. Now you've taken away 370. You've taken away all these separatists and all these terrorists' livelihood. अब ये
Yes,
खाना
and
कैसे
I,
खाएंगे?
हाँ बिल्कुल, खाना कैसे, इनकी दुकानें बंद हो रही हैं. But
Exactly.
good thing is that now the government has understood. For a long time, government of India was trying the policy of appeasement, and they
Hmm.
were thinking by throwing money at these people, they will become loyal, they will become their people, which was not true. See, one thing about Kashmiris, I will tell you, whether it's a Kashmiri Muslim or Kashmiri Hindu, that Kashmiris have a history of thousands of years.
Hmm.
It's the oldest society in India. The Hindu Dharma has originated, has its origins in Kashmir. The written text, oldest written text of Nilmat Puran is from Kashmir. The oldest piece of history, Raj Tanangani, is written in Kashmir. So the people have a very developed mind. It's in our genes. People are educated, and there is nobody in Kashmir who will not have their children be educated to be a graduate or a postgraduate.
Hmm.
So people are very well informed, very well educated, and they're smart people. See, when Shankaracharya wanted to re-establish Hinduism in India, he had to come and debate with the Kashmiri Pandits. That's
Yeah.
why Kashmiri Hindus are called Pandits. They're so literally educated and knowledgeable, and spiritually they were so advanced, that he had to come. And once he was able to convince the Kashmiri Hindus, Kashmiri Pandits, then they told him what to do and establish four different mutts in the country at four different directions. And even before that, when Buddhism had to spread, the third Buddhist conference was held in Kashmir, and then it was the Kashmiri monks who traveled whole of Southeast Asia to propagate Buddhism.
Yeah.
And the Kung Fu that you and I know now is actually those monks, for self-defense, they devised that for themselves, and it has its origins in Kashmiri monks. So Kashmir has its history. Kashmir has a very developed mind. It's in our genes, and so people are very smart when they are into anything. They will look into every aspect. They will study every aspect, what is good for them. And if you look at even Kashmiri Muslims, they have established themselves as businessmen in every part of the country. In India, you go to any hotel in India, you will find a Kashmiri emporium, you will find a Kashmiri vendor,
Hmm.
and they do business in every part of the country. They want prosperity for their children. They send their children to every institute in India, and because it's their country, rightly so. There is no distinction,
Yeah.
and it has to be the road has to have two-way traffic. The
Yeah.
others should be also able to come and settle and enjoy Kashmir. It's a paradise on earth.
Yeah.
It's a most beautiful place. I'm not saying that because I'm a Kashmiri. I'm saying that because it's true.
Yeah. No, it's definitely true. Like I've been to Kashmir when I was a kid, and it's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful state, good people, friendly people, and that's I think that's been one of the big casualties of this, of Article 370, about how this article, how this uh, discriminatory article has discriminated against so many people, against women, against against Hindus, against people from Jammu and Ladakh, against even Shia Muslims, how
Yes.
these things have discriminated against the LGBTQ community, how this
Yes.
article has discriminated. And that is one of the crazy things that I realize when I'm here in America, looking at Americans or American news channels or American commentators talking about Kashmir, talking about what the Indian government has done in Kashmir. They are all talking about, okay, Article 370 has been removed and this curfew is there. But almost no one is talking about what kind of discrimination Article 370 was doing against all of these people. The Article 370 at the end of the day was only benefiting the Sunni Muslim men of Kashmir. That's it. It was
Absolutely.
disadvantaging every single one, even the Sunni women. It was
So,
disadvantages against.
I was going to add that Sunni women were not happy with it because they also go out for education
Hmm.
and they fall in love with somebody, and if they marry out of a Kashmiri community, they lose all the privileges of being a state subject, which is so unfortunate and should not be the case. And I'm hoping, people will see some light at the end of the tunnel. This narrative, I'm sure, with Pakistan's prime minister and Pakistan's machinery behind it, they're trying to create as much misinformation as they can and mislead. I mean, all his what an hour around an hour long speech at the UN was just focused on bashing
Yeah.
India and talking about all this. No, nothing he talked about was concerning his people or concerning progress in his own country. I think he's been in power for over a year, and still there is nothing to show for it. And to divert the focus from any development work or talk of what he has done or what he has not done, the focus is talk about Kashmir.
Yeah.
Let people be focused on that, and he can get away with doing nothing. And that is so evident in all his speeches. And I mean, what good is it doing to people in Pakistan? Look at the northeastern frontier. Everybody is disenfranchised there. They have in the areas of Kashmir state that they occupied, which is called Pak occupied Kashmir,
Hmm.
they have actually changed the demographics of
Yeah.
that place. They have brought in people from other regions and settled them there. If you look at the development, in 90s when I was in Kashmir in one of the leading magazines, I forget which one. I think it was Times India.
Hmm.
They had done a comparison of development in Jammu and Kashmir state, part of India, versus the Jammu and Kashmir area occupied by Pakistan. And they were showing medical colleges, engineering colleges, industry, jobs, hospitals, facilities, roads, electricity in remotest possible villages. You getting a Campa Cola close to every part which is close to the border in Jammu and Kashmir state. That there is development, there are roads and facilities and drinkable water, and you have the subsidized food coming in that everybody is able to live happily. But in contrast to the other area, the president of that would go and do the ribbon cutting for a bandsa. That was the comparison. On a bull cart he would
Yeah.
go. So that was a comparison. And still today there is no education to children in that part of the Pakistan. Women, girls especially, are not encouraged to be part of a progressive society. And kids are in madrasas. What are you
Yeah.
giving them? What kind of future are you building for them? So focus on the development of people in your country. Make both When India got independent, Pakistan was born. They were born of us. And in these 70 years, what is there to show? All a begging bowl. I mean, Pakistan's prime minister had to come to UN to participate. He had to get a chartered plane from Saudi prince.
Yeah.
That tells you the story of that country.
And even
And
even
here,
during the speech, he was again asking for money. Even during the speech, he said, give us money, otherwise we'll do nuclear war. Give us money,
uh,
otherwise Muslims will pick up arms. So it was basically just like, how a child, if you don't give a child something that he wants, he will throw all of his toys outside of the pram. That was basically what it
Absolutely.
was.
That's a good analogy. That's true. I mean, it's a spoiled child,
Yeah,
and they have been given money. I mean, before the current administration in U.S., they were getting tens of billions of dollars, which was going to army, which was actually meant for development work, was going to army, and now that dole has been stopped, and they are now actually in a pressure what to do,
yeah.
how to survive. I mean, they have to really rethink. The people of Pakistan have to really rethink. Could you be always be talking about a portion of land, an area that belongs to another country, or you want to be talking about the future of your own children?
Yeah.
That is a big question for them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct there, and that again brings me to Threads and
Yes,
what Threads is trying to do, because I think what Threads is trying to achieve is a very important thing, which is better communication from the Indian American Hindu American community to mainstream America, because that is one of the things that I've recently started to realize here in the US, that the Hindu American community is finally starting to find its voice. It's finally starting to speak up for itself. It's finally started to do some first hand communication with America rather than second hand communication, that America learned about Indians and Hindus from other sources. Now it's time that America learns about Hindus and Indians from Hindus and Indians, you know
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, this is. I mean, the Indians and Hindus have been coming to America for hundreds of years now, but only in last 5 decades, I think bulk of us have come. And
Hmm.
thanks to Y2K problem, that's when most of the IT people
Yeah.
came to this country, and now we are here like close to 3 million people, which is almost 1% of the population. But then, in addition to these Hindus who have come from India or other parts of the world, because Hindu is not religious, it is more a geographical thing, it's more a cultural thing, it's about people who are from the land which is east of Indus River
Yeah.
and between the Indian Ocean and the Himalayas, and these are the people who have their roots in that land. So it could be anybody, a Muslim, a Hindu,
Yeah.
a Sikh, a Christian who belongs to that land. So Hindu is not a religious thing. It's more of a cultural thing and more of a geographical thing.
I
And
mean,
those
that's what it
people
used to
came.
be, right? The name
Yes,
we got because we were the citizens, we were the people that lived near the Indus River, near the Sindhu River.
yes,
That's where the name
yes.
comes
They,
from. So it's a
yeah.
geographical,
So they
cultural
could not.
entity.
They could not pronounce S,
Yeah.
so they would pronounce it as H. It became Hindu.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Now people have slowly started to realize that distinction, and as a Hindu in this country, we are trying to share what we are bringing. To this country, we are
Yeah.
trying to engage the masses here, and we are focusing on inclusion and collaboration. We are trying to show strength of unity in diversity. That is
Hmm.
what this conference is about. This conference is not about religion. This conference is not about politics. This conference is about education. It is about engaging the American, greater American society, so that we can collaborate, we can be partners in devising a better vision for this country, in getting better opportunities developed for this country. That is how we see this conference, and what we want people to take away is the Hindu Americans who have come here. They have a story to tell,
Yeah.
and what are the contributions they have made. How do we make sure the generations who are here now are keep on be inspired by these stories, and we document these stories. Then the next step is we have next generation which is coming of age. How do we inspire them to be like their parents in making a meaningful contribution to the American society, and at the same time taking advantage of the family values that you bring from back home through your culture to this society and share
Hmm.
it with others. And that is what we want to engage non-Indians and non-Americans. So our focus is threefold: to get the story to our next generation, get the story to non-Indians and non-Americans. We have made it very simple. Registration is free for non-Indians and non-Americans because we want them to come. We
Yeah.
want those policy makers, the decision makers, the influence makers to come and hear our story and be inspired by our collaboration and take that story out and be a multiplying factor in sharing that with others around in the country. We have made it very affordable for children, high school and under, up to the age 10. We are giving free registrations for them. We are giving free registrations to the college and university going students because we want the young adults to come and participate. And we have a nominal fee of $50,
Hmm.
which they have to pay at the time of registration. But if they show up, it is refunded to them
Okay.
because we want to make sure that
That they show
our
up.
registration doesn't go waste,
Yeah.
because people will register if there is nothing at stake. They will think, what am I to lose?
Yeah.
So we ask them to pay $50, but it will be refunded to them. Same way for senior citizens. Anybody who feels like it is tough for them, the registration fee is only $200.
Yeah.
But if they feel, senior citizens, they feel it's tough for them, it's just $50 for them. The conference starts on Friday evening, afternoon, and it goes till Sunday afternoon. So if you just look at it, all the 8 fields that I talked to you about earlier have top-notch Hindu Americans
Yeah.
coming and participating as exhibitors, and
Uh-oh.
did I lose you? I mean,
Oh,
my
no, you're
phone
back.
rang up.
You're back. There you are.
Okay, okay. What I was saying was,
Hmm.
we are trying to engage all sections of society, and we are making sure that it is in Hilton, Woburn, in Boston. It is just 10 miles away from Logan Airport. Because this is a national conference, we are expecting people from all states to come. Actually, through you, I am appealing to your listeners and your fans to do go and visit our website. Is threads 2019, threads 2019.org. Go check out the website to get all the information about the conference, how to register. I am inviting you to register and be participant and be part of the history that is going to be made here through this conference, because this is first of its kind and it will be repeated every 2 years in different parts of the country. And also, I would like people to come and start taking information that we are putting out there and
Yeah.
sharing it with people, because there are many out there who cannot come. I mean, not everybody has the flexibility to travel or to come. Then they can at least share the information and also share it with non-Hindus, non-Americans, because we need to engage the greater American society. And if you want to know about the 8 panels, the kind of people we have on
Oh,
each
yeah.
of the panel, I would like to tell you that on Friday evening we have the inaugural, where we are expecting top dignitaries to come and provide keynote address. And then that is followed by networking, some time for networking, followed by a musical evening, an entertainment program, which is top notch. Indian Hindus born and raised in this country, who are at the pinnacle of their field, and they will be performing. Next day morning, we are having Rachana Bodas, who is one of the singers, vocalists. She will sing morning ragas in the morning
Oh,
before the
wow.
start of the panel discussions. Everything is a panel discussion, and each of the 8 panels is 75 minutes long. And in each of the panels, we have either 4 or 5 panelists with a moderator. The way it will work: one person is a keynote speaker. That person will speak for 7 to 10 minutes. Other panelists will talk about their experience for about 5 to 6 minutes. And in total, about 35 to 40 minutes, this will happen, with the moderator. Then we open it up, open the floor for discussion with the audience. So it is very participative. You can ask them a question, you can interact with them, and get the best of this panel, because all the panels are that good. For instance, for art and literature, we have moderator Shekhar Shastri. He's an entrepreneur, a poet, a dramatist, and an educationalist. He is coordinating that. He's the coordinator. And I want to mention that for each of our panels, we had one coordinator who was given the freedom to actually select the theme for that
Oh
panel,
wow.
select the panelists that he or she thought are appropriate to make a mark. And then they were given the choice whether they want to moderate that panel or get somebody else to moderate.
Yeah.
So we gave them, the programming committee gave them the full freedom to act and get the best out there. And in that, we have Rachna Bodes, we have Mithali Iyengar, we have Philip Goldberg, we have Ayeshu Venkataraman in that art and literature panel. This is followed by industry and commerce panel, which is moderated and coordinated by Dr. Mukesh Aghi. He is the president and CEO of USISPF. The panelists on that one, I don't have information on them yet, but it will be made available to us soon. For our third session, it's about public service and advocacy. This panel is led by Suhag Shukla. She is the executive director of Hindu American
Yes.
Foundation. And the opening remarks are by a local senator from Massachusetts. His name is Jamie Eldridge. Then we have Neeraj Antani, who is the state representative from Ohio. We have Pradma Kupa. She is from Michigan House of Representatives. And Vidya Adappa, she is a assistant general counsel. Then our fourth panel is about holistic living. It is about Ayurveda, it's about veganism, it's about vegetarianism, it's about
Uh-oh. Did I lose him again? Hmm. Let's see. तो यहीं थे. Oh, he was right here, but seem to have lost him. I might have to try and add him back in. And let us see. Let us see if I can add him back in. But in the meantime, the people that are watching for the threads thing, guys, we have the link in the description down there in the description to this video. So it's threads2019.org. So you can check out the link if you'd want as well. You can register over there. It's going to be in Boston. I think it's going to be in Boston between 1st and 3rd of November. So if anybody is from the area, if anybody is in the area, if anybody is planning to attend something like that, they can go and attend it over there as well. So yeah, should be a fun event. You know, it's an event that essentially discusses soft power, Indian soft power, and that's going to be the next big challenge for India, and the next big opportunity for India and Indians really is how to utilize the soft power that they have. You know, you're using the power of your growing economy, you're using the power of your culture, the value, the great value of your culture. So I think this conference is a very good opportunity to showcase Indian soft power, Indian achievements in culture, technology, movies, medicine, all of these things, politics, all of these things. I think India has a very big opportunity, and the Indian American community has a very big opportunity to showcase just how powerful their soft power essentially is. So make sure to check that out as well. Let's see. I don't know what's going on here. I wonder if we can get Sanjay ji back on this thing. Uh, Webcam and mic are inaccessible. Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna text him and see what's going on. Maybe his battery was low. Maybe his phone died or something. So if I can't get him back on, that's okay. It is what it is. But if you guys have any questions for me in the meantime, I can take any questions. Bahut discussion. There's a lot of discussions going on about Pakistani lobby. There's a lot of discussions going on about all sorts of things, about demography is destiny and all that fun stuff. So if you guys have any questions, let me know as well. I've been noticing the people have been talking about conversion, anti-conversion rules and demographic rules. Browser Thunder, Sham bro, we love your video. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Browser Thunder. Thank you very much for your comment. You know, with the population law, there's another very interesting thing. There's another very interesting thing as well about it is that generally speaking, the population growth trends are flattening for all communities, whether it's Hindu community, whether it's Muslim community, whether it's Christian community. The demographic trends are all flattening. So what we need to ensure is to how to accelerate those demographic trends through better education, which I think the government is trying to do by offering these scholarships to madrasa students and stuff like that, is to secularize their education, educate them better, so when they grow up they don't want to have 15 children. um, so that's one thing. Oh, I think Sanjay ji might be back. Hi Sanjay ji, are you back?
Hello. Yes, I am. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sorry.
No, 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 that's all good. I'm not sure what happened, but it's good to have you back. We'll wrap up soon, but I just wanted to finally just ask you. This is something that really brings into fore what a big opportunity India and the Hindu community in general has in terms of soft power. We often talk about soft power and what an important thing it is for a country and a culture to have. And I think India really has an advantage when it comes to soft power with its culture, with its movies, with its music, with so many things. India has that opportunity, and now with the Indian economy growing, now that India is aiming to become like a $5 trillion economy, they have that economic opportunity for soft power as well. So I think one of the very important thing that Threads provides is it provides an opportunity to establish Indian soft power in America, because I think that's a huge opportunity.
Absolutely. That is one of the aims of this conference, is to share the story of our success and our contribution in this country, and to engage the local American society through what we are trying to showcase through all these different panels we are having, is to share the vision our people have, because we
Hmm.
have people, for instance, in the medicine, biotech, and pharmacy. The theme is the ethics of emerging lifestyle, and the technologies that make things happen in today. We have Dr. Udit Batra. He's the CEO of Merck. He's there. Dr. Amar Sahni, CEO of Oracle. Ocular Therapeutics is there. Dr. Raghu Sangvi, he is from the CEO of Takeda Vaccine. We have Dr. Rajiv Gupta. He's from Harvard Medical School, and we have Dr. Ganesh Kundania. He's the founder of Momenta Pharmaceuticals.
Hmm.
Now, when you have such luminaries on the panel who have made a mark through their work, through what they have developed and produced, it is betterment of what we are here.
Yeah.
And that is what we want to show to people, that we are here. This country did provide us the opportunities, but we have made better of those and opportunities to create more opportunities for others
Yeah.
in this country. That is what you are talking about, the soft power we are. And people actually have to realize through our contributions that these are law abiding, honest, and truthful, caring, and loving citizens of this country. And they
Yeah.
are part of the society as much as anybody else is. As much as we have at stake when somebody talks about education in this country, I know because my children are studying here and have gone through the education system. I know how hard it is to pay those high interest rates on the education
Yeah.
loans. I can see that pain. And I am with anybody and everybody in the society. And that is what the society needs today. And I am so happy that you gave me the opportunity to talk about
I think your mic got disconnected, Sanjay ji, somehow. I can't hear you. I think your mic have might have gotten disconnected. No, I can still see. Just there's a unmute. Your mic has is muted somehow. I'm not sure how. Let's. Oh, please make video on ISPAR, Sham Bhaiya. What is ISPAR? What is ISPAR? I don't. I'm not sure what ISPAR is, my friend. What is the topic? Uh,
can
yeah,
you hear
yeah, I
me?
can hear you
Okay.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. See, when these things happen, I have
Hmm.
one silver lining, which is that if technical glitches happen in this country, I'm not worried when the technical glitch happened to our moon rover recently. So
Yeah.
we call ourselves on the cutting edge of technology. We call ourselves on the forefront of technology, but
Yeah.
still glitches can happen.
Yeah. Glitches can happen.
Happen, yeah. so
No, no,
so
absolutely.
so we have a, big good program in place for the people who would we would want to come as delegates. We invite everybody to come. It's open. It's in Woburn, Massachusetts, like you were trying to say,
Yeah.
but it's not just for Boston area. It's not just for New England area or the tri-state area or the East Coast, but it is for the whole country. It is a national conference where we are asking delegates, and we have actually registrations from most of the states
Yeah.
already. But I'm still inviting. There is time. There is 1 month. We can accommodate more people. Please do come and register for Threads conference and be part of history here, because we are trying to document the story of Hindu Americans in this country and document their contributions so that we can inspire our children, we can inspire our generation, and we can collaborate and engage the American society.
Definitely, definitely. I think that's a very good message, and I hope people attend. Guys, if you're watching, if you watch this now, if you're watching this later, the website for Threads and for their registration is available in the description of this video. Again, it is www.threads2019.org. So you can go check it out. You can go check out all the speakers. Like Sanjay ji said, there's going to be a number of great speakers there, including Rajiv Malhotra ji will be delivering a keynote address. So there's going to be a lot of good people there. Check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you get a chance to attend, go ahead and attend as well. Sanjay ji, I want to just take some time to thank you for taking the time out and talking about threats today, and I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. I just want to reiterate
Hmm.
that I am so happy that you gave me the opportunity to talk about threads to your followers. And also, in between, we talked about Kashmir and Article 370, which was like another bonus. But in the end, I would like to say that the experience you will get through Threads conference is to share, to appreciate, and to engage. And that is what we are striving for. Share our story, appreciate what this country has given us, to realize the American dream and the opportunity to engage with them for a better future for our generations to come, and also an opportunity to share pluralism, the tolerance, and the mutual respect that we Hindus have brought through our culture. That understanding we want to share with everybody else to make this country a better place and this universe a better place for all and everybody to live in harmony.
Thank you. I think that's a fantastic message. And again, guys, thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please make sure to go take a look at the Threads conference. All right. Other than that, I will see you guys later, and subscribe to the show if you like it. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys soon.
Thank you. And do send me a link to